A few days I realized that the same type of people were constantly being brought to me. Like I would meet the same type of person that I don't really mesh well, if that makes sense. But because of that, I was thinking to myself, I think I'm constantly getting the same type of same type of people that I don't like being around, because a part of them is me. I like calling y'all my reflection because we are all part of the same consciousness. And we're all operating in different levels of it. And even calling levels and measuring consciousness is still like, what? Because there's no measure when it comes to the 5D, the 6D, the 12D, shoot, the whatever D. There's no measurement, Measurement is 3D. It's not linear either. And I kept on constantly getting these people because the thing that I don't like about them is so loud, because that's something within me that the universe is trying to make me focus on. Like, you don't like it when people lash out or say sick things or make sick comments or just hard to cooperate. They're closed off or rude at some ways. They're just interacting with them. It's what is wrong with them? You just want to cut them off and stay away. But I was no matter where I go, they keep on coming. I'm like, the universe is telling me something. I think this is part of me. So I have to dive deeper within that. My shadow is here. Oh, side note, that's why I say but it integrates with the conversation though, that your ego in the dark side of you should not be casted away. You should befriend it, nurture it. Your shadow, your ego is the way it is because of fear. And most of the time that fear stems from childhood trauma. For example, I noticed I would be around people. I met this one person that's very organized. I'm an organized person, but their level was insanity. And I was like, wait a minute. I've been through similar things you've been through. I'm organized like you, but you're on a different level because you're older. You develop it stronger. And I'm putting two together. So the need of becoming organized and having things your way is because you want things to control, and that is operating within your ego. And operating within your ego is narcissism, because when you think about it, hopefully I didn't close people off with that word, but just hear me out. Ego likes comfort, and I talk about this on my TikTok, so go follow it. Ego likes Ego likes comfortability. Your ego likes to be comfortable, to know what's going to be next, to control things, to have certainty, to never be wrong, not to be humiliated, and be in power. You might want power in the smallest ways, I'm picking my drink, or I'm wearing this shirt today. We want power in certain ways and control. But the things that tell you, society tells you need control over this and this, it's not true. You're supposed to let it flow. You're supposed to be uncomfortable to grow. That's the only way. And the universe is bringing these people in here for you to grow. Hey, this is you. But you refuse to talk about it. You refuse to handle this part of your shadow. You refuse to touch up on it. Whenever these people come in your life, you always say, I'm not like them. Or you're thinking to yourself, what's wrong with them? Why are they acting this way? That's a part of you refuse to acknowledge. So now you have to go within, what? How is that me? Okay, why is it bothering me? How am I like that? Let me relate to them to see how I'm that way and how can I fix it. And most of the time when people are so quick to jump into conclusions and act impulsively and stuff like that, it always stems from some form of trauma. And usually it's usually from not being heard. It's usually from not having your needs met or your voice was not heard. So when people yell, because I see anger as hardened sadness, so when I see people yell, even though we're having a conversation but they start yelling, it's because they're thinking in their head, all my life, even no matter what I said, people never heard me despite my volume, despite the tears, despite what I've been through, despite how many times I brought it up, despite how it made me sad, despite everything. So now they feel as if they have to like lash out. And I saw that and I was like, wait, I do that. Like in times of trigger moments, back when I used to live with my biologicals, like yes, I would have to yell because I feel like I'm not being heard, and I wasn't ever being heard. So that maybe brought me to the conclusion that, oh, I need to heal that. This person's doing that lashing out because I did that, and I still do. It's just I'm not around certain situations that bring that out of me, but it's still there. Just because it's dormant doesn't mean it's not there anymore. So how can I heal this? So I had an opportunity to do something different, because you not liking the behaviors of unchanged people, unchanged, is because you're not changing. If the same type of people with the same type of habits keep coming into your life for years and it still bothers you the same way, it's because you refuse to change. Not validating anything that, or anything, or just anything that they have said or done, but it's the explanation as to why these people keep coming up. The universe wants to teach you a lesson. Everything is a lesson. My motto in life, you either win or learn. You don't lose. You always get something out of something. Every situation. That's why I say everything always happens for you. Life happens for you. There's nothing that's going to happen for you that's not within divine planning. As long as you try to operate within your higher self, things will follow. It just takes time. Trials and tribulations always have lessons, and lessons build you and bring you knowledge and the things that you need to become the higher true self that you are. And all of the things that you've been through would not make you the you today. It wouldn't make you that interesting. So don't ever think, oh, I wish I can go back and I regret. Regret what? No. But yes, these people keep coming into your life because you refuse to change. It's ouch. It's the hard truth. I have to go to my terms like, I'm not changing. And I'm like, damn, so what can I do? So usually for like the past years, conflict, like a person could say one thing I don't like, try to be like sly, like just disrespecting in a way I don't like. I cut them off immediately because in my head I'm like, I don't treat people this way, so I don't respect that they treated me a certain way because of that. And I had to understand that not everybody is at the level of understanding and maturity of how much words and actions affect people. It's a ripple effect. Not everybody has that capacity to be like, well, you know what, let me stop and walk away, because that was within me. And if I were to be brought back to those certain people again, especially people that hurt you in childhood and they're still doing it, they will bring the most out of you because you feel unheard. You still have that trauma. So that's why I also explained that if you want to change, you have to be that change first. And you also have to change the people around you. If the people around you are still acting like the person you want to grow from, the person you no longer want to be and evolve, if they're still acting like that version of you, they'll bring you back to that version of you because they're technically portals. They bring you back to that state. So you have to, it's either they change or you got to cut them off. I know it's the hard thing to deal with, but it's the truth. Why spend your whole life trying to satisfy others or satisfy that fake thought that you need certain people because of the title or relationship or the kinship they have towards you? No, you don't need anyone but yourself. You do not. You came here alone, you leave here alone. So that thought is just here to program you to make you be fearful of yourself. And I guess this makes me realize if something is familiar, then it's of you. But at the same time, just because it's of you, is it the best of you that it reminds you of? But yeah, saying it's important to evolve. You have to change those people, because if you no longer want to be that person, why is everybody around you just like that person used to be? If they refuse to change, then you gotta make the tough decision. Which one is better? My peace or theirs? Yeah, they wouldn't be happy for who knows what because you cut them off, but you told them, you showed them. They're still acting the way they act, and most of the time they would be upset because they see that you're evolving and you're not. You're different. A lot of people don't like things that are different. You had to make that hard choice. And later down the line, you have to see if your peace was much more important than theirs. And I'm telling you it is, because like Willow said, how you feel is not my problem. I love that, because I'm like, I felt that right here. So anywho, like I was saying, when I handled the situation, usually I would just cut people off and be like, alright, good riddance. Anywho, but this time I was like, if I potentially want to build something, I would have to at least talk about how I feel, because I didn't do that. Especially with people that are immature, they would see you explaining how you feel as personal, like it's an attack. It's like, now don't get me wrong, certain people, like, you need a lot of patience. Warning, you need a lot of patience, grace, and peace within to be able to have a conversation like that, to be able to fight fire with water, to kill them with kindness. Oh dang, end them with kindness. Be able to do that. And instead of just cutting them off, I just explained my side and actually heard what their side. Even though what some things from me said, I would have been like, you didn't say like that. But still growing, you know, still getting used to the person that they are. And then they keep, if they keep on bending and disrespecting and not respecting the boundary that you set, then it's your decision. Use your discernment to do the next step that you need to do for your peace. Never ever set yourself on to keep somebody else warm. Never. It's your life and your peace at the end of the day. So you have to ask, and I truly feel like, see this as an opportunity to grow, because to grow is to be uncomfortable. You know, this is a side note, but I truly admire those like videos and pictures, and people, like, they would be like 600 or like pretty big people. They have like a lot of weight. They're bariatrics. And then they tell me, or then they'll like say like, oh, I lost all. Well, not lost, because instead of saying lose weight, you say got rid. I got rid of weight, you know? I released weight, because if you lose, you can get it back again. So you say you release weight. And like you see, like they were like 600 pounds and then they got back to 100. I'm like, wow, you know how much strength that takes? That's a lot of mental, physical, spiritual strength to keep going. And that shows like discipline is really like important, and willpower. And I truly feel like you could do the same thing with your brain. If certain type of demographic or people that are just like, why am I talking to them? It's because that's a part of you that you refuse to see in yourself. The universe is showing you a mirror, like, look, this is you. Look, like, that's literally what the universe is doing. And you literally have to first accept it. Takes a lot, because your ego is gonna be like, ouch, like, that's me, that's part of me. A lot of people would not admit it. And whenever I see other people experience it, it makes me laugh. Like, wow, they don't realize they're crying over a reflection. And they think it's because they don't deserve it, or why is this happening to me? That's you. Like, you know, like, but yeah, I enjoyed talking about this. Comment down below your thoughts, and I truly appreciate everybody that has joined, watching me and supporting me within my journey. And I'm glad that you enjoy my messages. I just like to share my thoughts, and I'm glad that y'all resonate with my thoughts. So comment down below, because I don't just make these videos to not talk to y'all. Like, I want to. So yeah, thanks for watching. Stay resilient, stay calm, stay happy, stay uncomfortable. Nah, I'm playing, but once in a while. But yeah, stay beautiful, reflection. Thanks for having time with Tatiana the Optimist. I'm out.